Hi, and welcome back to my Rug Hook and Talk Show. Okay, I'm noticing I'm a little cut off on this camera, so guess what? I didn't chuck it before because I kind of just come down here and start filming. I don't kind of make a big plan, so one sec. So sorry. Maybe that helps. Let's see. A little better. Okay, that's good. That's okay. Okay, so, welcome. My name is Annette, and if you haven't caught another show, I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Annette, and I'm a rug hooker for over 20 years, and I'm a member on rughookingdaily.ning, where we have a group, and we are solo hookers. So we kind of connect through this show. It's kind of odd, I know. It's a little cyber rug hooking group, and we connect also through discussions on Rug Hooking Daily. We have a group. If you go to the group section and join up, you will see us with a YouTube rug hooker group. We're the only one out there on YouTube, so you'll find us quite easily. So welcome if you're just joining. If you're started right from number one, you kind of know what this is all about. We just take the journey of rug hooking together. So grab a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, something cool, something warm, something yummy, and this is a little rug hooking time. I try to get in at least 10 minutes a day of rug hooking. I really shoot for no less than 20 to a half an hour, but there are times I come down here for 2 minutes and rug hook and go back up while the pasta's cooking. So it's all good. The point is, let's try to hook a little each day, and we get the rugs done. We get the designs out of our head, and we put them into form, and we complete rugs. So that's what this is all about. Well, I contacted June B. Miles from If Wool Could Talk. And I'll just show you the back of her so you know who I'm talking about. Okay, so she called me back. I contacted her and asked her if I could show this book a little bit more in depth. I know I might have, I believe I did tell you about the book, but I didn't want to open it and share too much of the pictures without her permission. She is located here in Connecticut, and I decided to call her, and she very nicely responded. So she said, yes, go ahead and show the book. Hopefully I could, also excite people enough to buy it. It is for sale on Amazon. It is her story in rugs. And basically, this is what I was talking about when I say we can, any rug we make, it becomes a little memory. A permanent memory, so to speak, like a photograph, but obviously much more tangible and enjoyable and beautiful and can be handed down. That being said, she made a book. It's her memoir, and it says it right there, Hook, Rugs, and Memoir. And I really enjoyed looking at it so much that I called her and asked her if I could share some pictures, and she said yes. So today I will do that. And there's so many beautiful ones. I don't know where to begin, but I really liked, this one is called Nuts. And it's a squirrel running. And briefly it just says, museum visits and artist works are often a trigger for my own inspiration. I fell in love with Wayne Thiebaud's paintings of cakes and pies, not so obvious in reproduction of his works, but quite apparent in the real thing in his use of lots of different colors to delineate edges. Nuts was an attempt to blend colors in a Thibodeau-esque style. So you see, she liked she was inspired by another rug hooker's work, or probably a painting could have been, I'm not sure, but to change up the edging and do it in different styles. I mean, it's limitless. Rug hooking is limitless. So I just wanted to share that picture with you and how she was inspired by this artist. Let's see what else. I'll just do these two. And these are portraits. and they're just fun. And again, let's see, this is the most recent but not the last in the men's series. So she did do a man series. That one's called The Sage. It's a pillow from 2007. And Matisse Man is another pillow, 2006, 17 by 17. So she has such interesting work in here. And the pages are filled with her colorful, quickly go through it. It's beautiful. So again, I just wanted to bring that to you and share a little bit more of it because she said I could. I did want to say that it is available through her, through June, through the Mifflin Press, P.O. Box 84, Georgetown, Connecticut, 06829, and I will just, is it on there? Okay, and also through Amazon.com. So that was one book, and I wanted to just share that with you. Okay, my little book just flipped away on me. Everything's flipping away. Okay. I know I brought this to your attention before. Okay, Designing Handmade Rugs. Put out by Stack Pole Books by Annie Sherburne. This is a 2012 book. It's relatively new, a couple of years old. And she's from London. And her work in here is amazing because it's all about recycling your fabrics to make your rugs. She doesn't advocate using new fabric at all. And I'm sorry, I'm not putting down people who use new fabric at all. You have to use whatever is you're comfortable with. And some of you have no means of getting new fabric. Getting old fabric. So new fabric is your only option. Then absolutely just look for the best prices and the year-end sales and the closeouts, and you'll be fine. But if she's trying to advocate the use of recycling, upcycling, repurposing, and not only does it help your pocketbook, but it also helps the environment to keep a lot of these unwanted clothes. She uses all kinds of fabrics in here. She's using t-shirts, and she's using sheets, and she's using silk. She tells you about the property of each fiber and yarn as she goes along, so she's very educational in that regard and informative. So for those of you who are not experienced in using a lot of different fibers, that's a great book. It's called Designing Handmade Rugs. Right now it's on Amazon for $4.50, so that's a good deal. But I did notice that there's not many available, and the next price jumps up to something like $40 or $70. So I think you might want to jump on that because a lot of these books, as they kind of go through cycles and seasons of being recognized, or people start chatting them up like I'm doing right now, they get bought up very quickly. So, you know, for the price, you figure $8 total with shipping is a great price for a beautiful rug hooking book. I guarantee you, you'll be very happy with what's inside that book. So that being said, let's start doing some rug hooking. Okay, so my geometric is coming along, and I think I have 20 diamonds left. I was counting the diamonds to try to just gauge how far we're going here, and I believe I'm probably going to have some yarn left over. So I bought, we started with 8 skeins of yarn, wool yarn, and we have 4 left. And I'm more than halfway through the rug, so I believe I probably will have some yarn left over, which is just a good gauge to see how much yarn is being used in a rug for those of you who like that information. And this is probably, I would say, like a 2 by, I'm going to say a 24-inch or 20, let's see, you know what? I'm going to measure it again. Give us a better idea of what size rug we're working with here. I don't normally size my rugs when I'm creating them or drawing a design. I just do the size that I think looks good for the scale of what I'm working with, or how big I want it, or the area where I'm putting it in. So those are all different factors. And then for your little mats, you just obviously, you know, if you're putting them on a certain table, you want them a certain size, then you would do more of an exact measurement. Okay, so it's, let's say, this is almost 26.5 inches by, let's see, I'm going to give you a good approximation, by 22.5, so about 27 by 23 inches. So there you go. And I don't have a big space where I'm putting this, so this has probably been more formatted to that little area, but I normally don't check if I'm just making a rug for any area. But you notice as you rug hook along and create, you'll all of a sudden say, well, I created this for my fireplace and it's way too big. You'll start to notice that you do have to start taking some measurements for certain areas, and you just learn that as the craft evolves along with you. And that's basically what we're doing. So I'm hoping you're enjoying your rug hooking books that you've been acquiring, because I hear on the group that there's a lot of purchases being made for these great books. And if you know, new books, I have so many books that I have read through the years. I have forgotten many of them until I go on Amazon and I'm like, wow, I should see if the library has that, just so I could show the girls, because I did have many more books. But through the years, like I said, there was a point in time where I did not want to rug hook, and it was just a sad time. My mom had passed away, and I just felt that desire was gone, and then I really felt the need to create, to heal and feel better about who I was and who she was, and she was this great creative woman, and I wanted to pay homage to her. So yes, I'm back to rug hooking, and so I had let a lot of those books go, also because I just felt they were very basic and I was ready to also pass them on. But as new books come out, I continue to share with you, so just stick with me on that, and we'll continue to add new books in. And yeah, so I think I'm up to number 20 on my geometric, and I am enjoying it now that I work through each diamond. That kind of helps. And you know, like I said, there's not much to be done on this design-wise, so that's the idea. And color-wise, so you know, two dynamics were removed making this rug. There was no great color scheme I had to think about, and that's an exciting part of creating a rug. So that part was removed, and then I had the fact that there wasn't, you know, there was no design to really change up or evolve with while the rug created, you know, and so that dynamic was gone. So we had to just focus on, I just had to focus on the hooking. And so I am enjoying that. It's very meditative, it's very calming, and I continue to work and enjoy that and share. And I did get in some more yarn. I don't know if you guys want to keep seeing my yarn as it comes, but why am I still doing yarn purchases? Well, 2015 there won't be any more purchases for me. So I try to scour the internet for sales on different fibers and yarns to share with you, and to show the new rug hookers out there what can be done, what can't be done, because sometimes you are taught by certain teachers, you know, wool is the only way to go, and you only want to use wool, and yes, wool is strong, it's awesome, I use wool. But don't be afraid to add something a little different into your rug hooking, and why not? Give it a try. It's the fun part of rug hooking. It's your rug. So this was the Cascade, Grandiosa hand-dyed. I had showed you the pink, and I had showed you the green. Well, the blue and the purpley colors came in. So there you can see. And I got these for $7.99. Not a great big bargain. I guess it's a bargain because they were $17 a skein. I would never pay that for yarn to put into a rug, but those are the options for other people, and I just figured I'd show you what I got that wasn't rug hooking yarn. So if you're just tuning in, I am using Seal Harbor rug yarn on this. My little hook back here. Wrong one. And Seal Harbor rug yarn is great. Halcyon, again, good, very good quality rug yarn that's nice and thick in the core. This is very soft. This yarn is very soft, but it is still thick. And it's soft, but not too flimsy, so we can get away with it. I think we'll be fine with this. And I'm looking forward to filling in some flowers with that kind of yarn. I think it would look real pretty. So there you go. I was always interested how many of you out there just hook exclusively with yarn, and exclusively those of you who hook with just wool fiber fabric. That's something I always wanted to ask you guys. So if you leave a comment or put it in the discussion at the group, just let me know regarding episode 47, what you're hooking with, why you hook with it. I just find it interesting, and would you be willing to try something new? So that's always interesting, because I just got the Boyle jersey in, and I shared that with you on one of the shows previous to this one, just a few shows before this one, and I'm excited to try that too. So that being said, I've opened up my options as I've gotten a little bit more into my rug hooking and realized that it's my rug hooking and I could do what I want. So there you go. We're all grown-up rug hookers now, and we can play with whatever we want, so go for it. I got my yummy Jen Major tea, and we're all good this today. So, you know, it's funny, as I come kind of close to the end of my rug, I think it will be interesting just to, you know, I think everybody goes through this. It's kind of bittersweet when your rug comes to the end, because you remember all the things that were going on. I mean, I remember hooking a rug. I think my shaker tree rug spanned years, only because I had put that down for quite a long time. And I picked it back up, and I just remember, wow, this rug went through many trials and tribulations through the years, along with me and the family making it. So some rugs you become very emotionally connected to. I try not to do that, but you can't help it. If I'm going to sell a rug, which I don't do often, but sometimes I do just to replenish the funds to get more rug hooking supplies. And if I'm not particularly attached to it and I just had fun with it, yeah, I'll throw it up there on eBay and move it along to a nice, appreciative house. Why not? But I usually hook my rugs with a certain sentiment in mind, or a design, or a desire to try a new, I think most of us might do this, is just to try out a new color combination. I think quilters do that too. They just love to create with color and to get a certain effect or feel or look from their quilt. I think rug hookers, in essence, do that too. I mean, we have our rugs that we create for personal reasons, and then there's just that felt rug, that rug that I just felt like adding certain colors to, and I'm just going to try it and enjoy it. You'd be surprised the wonderful results that come, or just the learning process that comes out of that is priceless. So don't be afraid to try new things. Okay, so we're moving along here, and I have been sharing what it feels like to step on a yarn rug as opposed to a hook rug made with wool, fabric, and it's different. It's very different, and I must say, as much as I'm into recycling, I'm always torn because the feel of a yarn-made rug is quite different than the feel of walking on a hooked rug. I'm probably going to say more barefoot. It has a different feel, or at least without shoes, and it's just a squishier, softer feel. But believe it or not, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. It's a good discussion. Which one of these would be more durable? Would it be the fiber? Would it be the yarn fiber? Or would it be the wool fabric? I'm not sure. I'm sure we have many rugs in museums that are made with both, but it would be interesting to know what is the oldest rug out there that we have, and in what condition is it in. There is one thing nice about a rug made with fabric wool, a wool fabric hooked rug, is as it's walked on, I can't explain it, but unless you've seen an old antique rug, you will see that the design changes into almost a flat painting-like effect. I can't explain it. It almost looks like it's just flattened out and all the colors are almost painted on. And that's from years of walking on it. Would that be the kind of patina of a rug, a hooked rug through the years? Because certain things age and look better. I believe hooked rugs are one of those things that look better. Now, I have not seen a very old yarn rug, what it looks like using our rug yarn, because the yarn from years ago is a little different from what they're producing now. I mean, wool is wool, yes, but the thickness might have been a little different. It might have been thinner yarn, more just for knitting, and so, you know, would that have lasted? Because we have some awesome yarn now, and I know these rugs will be around for a very, very long time. And if you're investing in the time, yes, that's what you like, but I'm not getting caught up in that, like I've said before. To create something that's beautiful, and I think more why I use wool, because it you know, obviously the colors are beautiful, but they do say it is the most resistant to dirt. So I have a rug upstairs that I hooked my heart rug. It's by the foot of the steps, and I'll tell you, it looks pretty much like the day I hooked it, and it has gone through some work. So at the foot of the steps takes up a lot of wear and tear, and it looks great. Looks great, and it was made with yarn. It was made with the Halcyon yarn at the time, and so I'm grateful for all the good wool yarn that's out there. I'm just going to bring you a little closer because I just want to give you a little idea of what's happening here. There you go. So we're finishing up that little diamond right there, and as you could see, this rug is moving along. Sorry for moving, shaking you. Like I said, I'm trying to get through 3 diamonds a day, and that's not always happening. So I'm hoping to wrap this up within a week or so, and get over there to my little felt rug and finish working on that, and just have fun experimenting and moving on with that, and just adding in some fun colors and changing it up. And we were talking about changing things up as you work them, and I was going to just do, I had a certain idea for that rug in my head when I first started sketching it, that all the leaves would be just outlines, and now I'm going to pick one rug and do one, I'm going to pick one leaf on the rug and do it solid. So again, we change things up as we see fit, and to add interest or things that we want to do, and just try different techniques, and so that's what it's all about. We're almost done. You keep seeing me switch this because I can't hook very comfortably straight in different directions, multi-directional, with this backing. So for those of you who keep wondering why I'm switching without knowing, that's why. I normally don't have to switch that often. If I have a loose weave, I can maneuver this, but this is so difficult to pull up. So it is making it a little harder to hook through. There we go. Okay. So that's that. This diamond is now complete, and I'm going to pop it out and pull it up, and there we go. I usually pull it in, pull that from underneath, I pull it down so I don't waste so much yarn. And there we go. Sorry, wrong spot. There you go. So, okay. It's coming along. I'll try to give you a full length view of it there. So that's what, we don't have too much left. Hopefully within the next week this will be done, and we'll say farewell to our little geometric rug here, and it'll have its new home. So just want to say thank you for all the new subscribers, and thank you to the new members that are coming onto the group. The more the merrier, the more inspiration, the more ideas and thoughts, and just a great camaraderie that we're having. And look, we do it all in our home, and we never even have to leave. So that being said, enjoy your rug hooking solitude, your rug hooking time. Grab that great cup of tea and sit quietly at the end of the day if that's where your rug hooking time comes for you. And just hook and enjoy it, and be happy. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you at the next show, or drop me a comment. Please subscribe if you like the show so I know to keep going. Sometimes I just think, how much more could I do this if they're bored with it? But I hope not, because I enjoy it, and I'm glad to see more people coming on board and sharing rug hooking. And if I can have inspired you in any way, great. If I have shared a good thought or introduced you to a group of nice women, and you maybe even meet one locally in your area, that is awesome. So that being said, I bid you farewell, stay well, and happy hooking.